Good YouTube, it's a quest survive from prophecy, and today's video is about the New York Giants. Now, obviously, I'm very critical of Daniel Jones for the simple fact that you know I just don't think he has the it factor. Um, well, I'm not gonna sit here and bash Daniel Jones. I think he has a huge upside to him. Going into his third season, there's going to be a lot to expect out of him. Can he play a full 17 games? I don't know if the 17 games take effect this year or next year, but uh, yeah, so can he play a full 16 games without 16 or 17 games without getting hurt? Because obviously he did get hurt. And that's the one thing that concerns me, about, these mobile quarterbacks. Some of these mobile quarterbacks will be on the shelf, on the injury report, a lot. Because would you rather take a pocket passer, like kind of like a Peyton Manning, or would you take you know, a mobile quarterback that can, probably just only run? Don't have the biggest arm strength, kind of like a Jay Cutler. You know what I'm saying? Because Jay Cutler had a big ass arm. He could throw it, but he lacks mobility. But I just think that he hasn't really played in any playoff game yet, and we don't know what he's capable of once he reaches his full potential. Now, obviously, I understand it's hard to get a quarterback in the NFL these days. The Giants would have to go. I mean, the last time the Giants had the number one pick was when they picked Lawrence Taylor, you know, in around, I think, 1989, So I'm not saying that, I mean, they don't necessarily have to pick number one. I mean, I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, if they were to, if Daniel Jones is not the answer, then the Giants are going to be going through the Giants are going to be going through quarterbacks like tissues, like used tampons, because it's just a mess, And when you have the wrong quarterback, it takes time for that quarterback, for any quarterback, to gel. You know what I'm saying? We took faith in Eli Manning because we knew Eli Manning was, at the time, I don't think we knew what we was gonna get out of Eli, and Eli didn't have the best rookie season. You know what I'm saying? But he matured under who? Who did he have to mature under? Kurt Warner, right? So at least Daniel Jones was under Eli Manning for a short period of time. I'm not saying that he's gonna take what Eli Manning gives him. Hopefully he's not this, three interception type of quarterback each and every year. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but I just don't know. We don't know what we're gonna get out of Daniel Jones. He can run. That's for damn sure. The only thing I give him over Eli is obviously his mobility. He can run. Eli Manning wasn't really known for his running, but I mean, he would run occasionally. You know, I remember that one game against the Dolphins in '07 where he he had like an open lane and he actually outran Jason Taylor, one of the linebackers for the Dolphins. You know, some people give Eli Manning no credibility by his running. You know, obviously he's not a finesse runner, but when he needs to get that final or when he needs to get that yardage, he'll do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? And Daniel Jones just struck me as a Tony Romo type of guy, you know? And Tony Romo wasn't really that bad. He just made poor decisions, Not really poor decisions. He just he just didn't hack it in the playoffs. You know, I mean, if you look at his record, if you look at his stats, well, he's probably ninth in yards, fourth in TDs. Probably seventh in interceptions. You know, if you were just ranking his his accomplishments, you know what I'm saying? He's been to the Pro Bowl, I believe, in '08, when the Cowboys won the division. Um, but other than that, Daniel Jones just strike me as a Tony Romo. You know, uh, he's already been hurt, so that's another red flag. You know, like if he's keep on continuing to get out the pocket and move, because I know pass rushers, linebackers, edge rushers, they're gonna try to get their hands on Daniel Jones. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but you have to think smart. He has to think smart. Like how did he get injured? And I'm not saying that it's gonna come back and haunt him, but if we want that quarterback long term, he's gonna have to stay healthy. Like I know last year he took over for Eli Manning against Tampa Bay. He railed them back in, after Tampa Bay had like a 31-point lead against them. It was like 17-31, and then they just, came back with two more touchdowns and stuff like that. And then, Daniel Jones walked in for a go ahead and touchdown to tie it up, and then obviously they kicked the field goal and they won. Or the defense had a great stance and they stopped the offense from going any further. But I just think that Daniel Jones have to take this step, because it's gonna look ugly on Dave Gettleman if Daniel Jones isn't the guy, you know. So now where do you go? If Daniel Jones isn't the guy, where do you go? You can't really turn to Mike Glennon, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to develop and find or probably tank whatever you have to do in order to get that first or that second round pick, you know? But if Daniel Jones is the guy, you don't have nothing to worry about. But again, Daniel Jones strikes me as a guy that he just gets caught up in himself all the time. You know, like he wants to make the right decisions, but sometimes he just gets petrified and scared. Like with Eli Manning, you'll know that with Eli Manning, he'll make the right decisions most of the time. You know, but again, man, Daniel Jones just struck me as a guy that doesn't want it. Like you could see body language wise, he's obviously different from Eli. You know what I'm saying? Eli Manning was a competitor. You know, he was very competitive against his brothers, Cooper and Manning, Peyton. So it runs in the family. Daniel Jones just strikes me as a guy that just doesn't want it. Like you could see it. You, they said that 90% of body language says who you are. You know, like if you're not a guy that just, obviously he's not that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to grow into a leader, but at the same time, you have to be available, man. Like let's say hypothetically, knock on wood, he doesn't get hurt. Week 3, he sprained his ankle by running, so he's out 4 to 6 weeks. Then what? You know what I'm saying? So you have to be smart in that aspect. Why Eli Manning played so long? It's not that because he wasn't mobile. I mean, there was plenty of games that I remember that he ran. He didn't get the yards necessarily, but he ran. But he was durable because he knew that if he played longer, he'll last longer. And obviously people might say that, well, he could have been still playing. Yes, he could have. But his arm strength it wasn't there. He wasn't really throwing the ball deep down the field like people expect. Like he's freaking playing Madden and shit. Like he could just throw it up for grabs and his receivers can go get it. That's why you have to plan out your schemes. Like you have to know what type of defense they're in. oh, they're in cover three, cover two, man to man, press, whatever have you. You can't just chuck it up there and expect your receiver to come down with it all the time. It doesn't work that way. And Daniel Jones has yet to figure out defenses, you know? Because I remember when he got picked by, I think he was playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was playing the Steelers week one. J.J. Watt was T.J. Watt was faking blitz and he was actually in coverage. So he was playing Tampa. I think he was playing cover two or Tampa two, something like that. One of those two. You know, when you in the stance and you act like you're gonna blitz, but you fall back. So by the time he threw it, he already fell back and he intercepted it. So that's another thing Daniel Jones have to do better. Read defenses, know what coverages they're in, this and that. You know, not just run every chance you get. You know, because he's going to be triggered happy. He's going to be one of those quarterbacks that have happy feet, you know, that just, every time, the defenders go around and we just quickly run. He just takes off and runs and stuff. So all I'm saying is Daniel Jones have the potential. He just have to put it together. No more excuses. He's in his third year. Usually when quarterbacks are in their third year, it's literally a make or break season for them. Second year, no. Your rookie year counts as your first year. Your first 2 years, your rookie counts. So when your rookie season is done, you basically go into your third year. So his rookie year, he didn't see a lot of playing time until Eli Manning got benched for Daniel Jones. He took over the rest of the season. And then after that, so now he has a full 16 or 17 games that he can play, and we'll see how he really develops, Because if you look at Patrick Mahomes, his third year, Eli Manning, his third year, Peyton Manning, his third year, Brett Favre, his third year, Aaron Rodgers, his third year, they all developed, right? They all developed. I think Ben Roethlisberger won his championship his third year, if I'm not mistaken, with Crowder. I think that was the head coach for the Steelers at the time, before Mike Tomlin. So I believe, I think Russell Wilson won a championship his third year. So it just takes time, but there's no more excuses. You have the weapons, whether you draft a wide receiver in the draft or not. You have the weapons. Now you have to just go out there and execute. Saquon Barkley is coming back. May not be 100% healthy. Probably will be 100% healthy. Maybe, you can add a few running backs to complement him, you know, and just see where things fly. But to me, I'm not sold on Daniel Jones. I never was. You could say that I have a knack for talent or something like that, but I know a quarterback when I see a quarterback. And Daniel Jones, like I said, he just strikes me as a Tony Romo type. Great, but just it just doesn't click. Now, I understand he hasn't really been in the playoffs, so that's another thing that he has to be comfortable in. So it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.